Hello there. Welcome to the Sparkle Experience Show. It's episode 24. I'm so happy to be here tonight for a very exciting episode because this is an important topic, a very, very important topic. With Jade, my co-host, she is a dear friend now. We've known each other a few years. And Jade has been on a journey, and today the topic is celebrating diversity, the journey, balancing family and professional life as a transgender. And without much ado, I'd just like to bring up Jade Gaul. And Jade, she has been my chief technologist. She has been such a brilliant asset because whenever I have trouble, she's able to troubleshoot in ways that I've never had the experience of getting it from one person knowing everything. And she's just incredible. Her patience is amazing because I used to wonder how she was so patient, you know? I mean, yeah, so much so that now I know she is this authentic, beautiful woman that this explains it all to me. And you know, I think Jade that I think that because you're showing up now as who you truly are, I think there's nothing but better coming because now you're able to express yourself fully. And then you're also more at peace. I don't know, you know, so maybe you can say a few words before we get started. I'd like to welcome everyone who's here with us, who's signed on even for the replay, because as I said, I feel this is a really important topic. We need to understand everyone around us because that helps us to relate and to allow and to accept. It also helps, even with a past episode with Catherine Sarais, who talked about ND plus NT equals love. And she was talking about the autism spectrum. And she was saying, everyone, we all have traits that are the autistic spectrum, but it's not labeled as such because we're supposed to be normal people, right? Even though we're normal people, we still have these traits, except we label people with all these things. What if we are not labeling? What if we just accept people and try and understand people for who they are? And just for the beautiful person that everyone has, because I believe that there's beauty inside of everybody and there's brilliance inside of everyone. We just have to find what that brilliance is, because many times we're told that we're not good enough, or that, you know, that's not what we should be doing, or that we're stupid, or we grew up with these things that we get programmed with. And so it leads us into judgment. And this show is about putting aside the judgment, because what I learned last week was that I could not fathom that somebody could just not have something on their radar, where you could see somebody is going almost on death's bed, but you can't see it because you're not able to perceive that. And for me, I knew that autistic individuals had challenges, but I had no clue to how far from what it is that I thought would be normal or conceivably something that, you know, could be construed as not being just caring, that could actually be just not seeing, not being able to perceive. And when that you realize that level, and there's all this range between what we all can perceive, and there's such a wide range now where someone could be so brilliant, so amazingly genius, but yet on the social side, not be able to perceive when someone's dying. I mean, that to me is something that was just mind blowing last couple weeks ago when Catherine shared that, because I had no clue, absolutely no clue it could go to that level of an extreme. And maybe I'm ignorant, but I'm not the only one,
We're all like that. So,
right?
yeah.
I'm not the only one who is ignorant about this range of us thinking and being on our hoity-toity. Well, that person doesn't care, therefore I'm mad at them because they didn't do that or that. And that's, anybody would do that. Anybody could see that. Anybody, and we build up these stories that could be the farthest thing from the truth because they just didn't get it. They didn't see it. And so tonight's topic, Jade, you know, I'm not sure where you'd like to start, but I'd like to maybe start with a question of where did you when did you come to realize that you were trans feminine, and and I guess the thing is, can you lead us through the challenges a little bit? It's up to you what you want to share tonight. I think there's a lot of people some who could not make it tonight on the live show, but who will be watching the replay, who are genuinely interested to understand better what this journey is about and to understand more. So as I said, the same thing with the autism spectrum and the Asperger's and the brilliance, and like, how do we wrap our heads so we can really feel and empathize and be kind and respectful and from an educated point of view,
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. Coming from the right area is and right intention is really important on this, because for some people it can be a very delicate subject. Uh, for me personally, how I really started recognizing that there was something different was when I was a younger kid, and I guess the best way to say is I would be jealous of girls with all their friends and cliques and all that stuff. And all my friends as a childhood were girls. Uh, I had maybe one or two guy friends out of that whole group when I was a kid. There really wasn't many other friends other than girls. And I act different around different people, and that shows in a lot of situations, and people approach me differently. I always had this kind of feminine look as a kid, and people would call me a girl sometimes. Others would, and then correct themselves as such. But it was something that started really early, and as I got older, I really learned more about myself and how I really didn't feel in the right way. I guess would be the best way to put it. Like I wasn't supposed to be a male, or at that time anything particular. I just didn't know I wasn't correct, and it got difficult as in my 20s, and I've had some issues with difficulty on all of that. I've been part of my repression, I guess, of this aspect of me has been due to the fact that I have had violence has happened against me, and it has generally just been out of the blue, at least for me. But people were, thinking I was acting weird or in some way acting different from the group. So, per se, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. The thing with, okay, so maybe what is, I guess for the viewers, what is transgender? I mean, we hear about, I got the question, what is, is cross-dressing the same as transgender? And I said, no, it's not. What about queer? What about, the genders, the agenders, or where there's no specific gender? And
Well,
then,
trans is a range of genders. Trans is kind of the inclusive tag of everything that is between what is known as binary sex. So if someone is male, fully male, they're on the male side. And they like females, they're considered what is known as cisgender, which is not a slur or anything else. It's just the technical term that means that they're normal. uh, if they're fully female and they like male, then again they're
But
cis.
that's on the sexual side. But on what I'm thinking more on in terms of is
Well, what
when
is
we talk about trans, it's where
yeah.
the person, individual feels that they were born sometimes in the wrong body with the
Yes,
wrong
and
parts.
that's what's in between. That's the like somebody who doesn't feel like they're either gender, so or 100% one or 100% the other. They're usually known as non-binary. Or
But then you have
that
the female who has a male body,
yes,
but they wanted they don't feel right with it.
that
And
is
then the
someone who's
females
crossing
who
over
vice
from one
versa,
side to
right?
the other. That's transfeminine or trans masculine.
Hmm.
Transmasculine is the female one where they are a female, but they feel like they should be a male and start acting like that or act like that naturally. A female transfeminine, on the other hand, is a male who feels like they should be female and has always acted or takes on characteristics of that aspect.
And the
And
part of it, from what I gather too, because it's that it's really where it's not a choice. The feeling is not that there's a choice. It's just this is not. I cannot be in this body, or I cannot be showing up the way I was born to, with the
yes,
features, because I just this is not me, right?
no,
It's that
transgender is
feeling.
what you are. It's not so much a choice. It
Yeah.
is something that comes out and it's part of always has been in some manner, and affects everything that you do and who you are. Uh, who you like, on the other hand, or who you love is what people attribute to like LGBT Q usually, but transgender is in that area as well.
But the trans part is really where it's your body that you feel.
Yes,
It's that body part, right? So it's that body part, which is, it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just how you feel as you showing up.
correct.
So
And
it goes to the root of needing to do something about how you're showing up for to authentically be who you are,
it
in the
shows up
essence
in
of who
some
you are,
strange
right?
ways sometimes, but
What's
yeah,
what's that? I say it in a strange way.
no, I say it, transgenderism and all that. It shows up in a strange ways when starting out because you're trying to hide it,
Mm.
and instead you come through as this either someone who's hiding, and so people are naturally suspicious of you, or the mannerisms you come out are very confused. Like I would act. Like if I'm friendly with somebody, I would start acting more girly, just naturally because I'm loosing my boundaries, and that would confuse people and get them all angry sometimes, and that is where the violence would sometimes come in, because they would misunderstand something, even though
Mm. Yeah,
that's not
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
the intention was.
Understandably, right? So
Yep,
it's really this thing inside that it's who you are, right?
exactly.
It's it's being authentically you, right?
Yes,
So this is a thing to understand, I think, for the key. And the thing is, you haven't changed. You're still the brilliant person that I knew beforehand. And I think probably because of this, do you feel more relaxed in yourself now that, how has this, it's only been a few weeks now since I know that you've announced to your friends and family,
Well,
right?
I've announced to my friends and family like almost a year ago. This is kind of the last step for me is moving my business over to as Jade Gaul as opposed to Jeremy. And I'm progressing with the legal side, which requires changing name and changing ID documents and all that kind of stuff, which is always fun. You have to deal with the DMV, so.
Hmm. So then, I guess I'm asking, how has this impacted you in
Oh
terms
yes.
of your productivity, your ability to focus? Uh, would you say it's a positive all the way?
It's been positive. I've had very few negatives on everything. In fact, I have my depression has severely lessened. Uh, Most of the issues I've had regarding uh, being in hiding as such or in the closet have gone away. Like the depression is the biggest one, but feeling closeted, feeling scared to go out anywhere, all that kind of stuff. I'm much more open about going out now than I used to be. A good person to have that viewpoint is my wife.
All right,
She
Sarah.
she is here to kind of tell her side of the story of how I have changed in the last couple of years as I've become more and more out, and as what her perspective of that is. Are you able to bring her on now?
Yes, let's do that. There she is, very fast.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Very nice for you to join us today on the show. And this must have been, I can imagine that at the beginning, this must have been quite a shocker for you, if I can say that. Or
Yeah.
was it a surprise at all? Or,
Oh, yes.
did you have a clue?
Yeah. Yeah, Jade took me to a restaurant and sat me down and said that she needed to tell me something. And she had tears in her eyes, and I was terrified. And I was thinking, "What are we breaking up? What's going on?" This was like 2 years ago, so we had been together for so long. And then she told me that she was trans. And my first feeling was, oh, thank God. It's it's not something bad, it was confusing at first. Just kind of like, oh, really? Kind of wrapping my brain around what that means. Um, I didn't know many trans people before, and so I've learned a lot more during this journey with Jade. It's been a lot of fun. We've done a lot of shopping together and getting our manicures and such. And it's been so great to see how confident she is. When she goes out, she gets compliments all the time. And like I think the first day that she went out on her own in a wig and presenting feminine, someone called her hun, and she just came home beaming. And it's just been so great to see how much happier that she is now that she's not dealing with that uncertainty about relationships with other people, about interactions with other people, feeling scared how everyone's going to react to her. I would think that it would be more scary to begin transitioning and go out in public, but it seems that she's more confident, even as the transition was kind of progressing.
I guess from my perspective, when Jade first told me, I said, well, how is the support she's been having, and how did you handle it when she told you? And she said, you've been her rock. You've been her support through this whole journey. And, I take my hat off to you because I think Jade is very lucky in this respect for you to be so supportive. and so understanding. It would be so nice to have more people being that way, with people coming out and being who they are.
Unfortunately,
And
a
I
lot of marriages have a lot of problems with that, because if the person is in a certain type of relationship, maybe they're in a heterosexual relationship, and then their partner transitions, that can be a significant problem for some people. If their sexuality doesn't match their partner's kind of new identity. And so for some other people, it's just the same person, just kind of a different face, and they feel the same way. But for some people, it's unfortunately can damage their relationship.
Yeah, because the one thing I had said to Jade is I thought that, the hardest, the people that it's hardest on is the family, because you're having to adjust to, well, it's not dad anymore, it's Mommette, right? It's so, how has it been with your children? Are they adjusting nicely to this?
Yeah, well, they in the Portland area where we live, there is there's a large LGBTQ community, and people are much more out in this area, and open about their gender and their sexuality. And so both of the kids knew people who
Mm,
were trans, they both knew people who were non-binary, and so it wasn't as confusing for them. I would say they were probably about 13 and 8, I think, when Jade came out to the kids, and we both just sat them down and had a talk with them, and they both totally kind of understood and were accepting and kind of excited for Mommette. We had a little talk, we had a little brainstorming session. What should we call Mommette now? Because I'm mom. One of the kids calls me mom, the other one calls me mommy or mama. And so we couldn't really use any of those. We came up with Mommette, and I think that fits her really well.
yeah, that's cute. When she told me Mommette, I was going, that's pretty cool. So, what are some of the challenges that you think there are going forward? Are there any left, or is it,
It's an ongoing challenge. It As things are, like you're always going to be fighting against that. Uh, uh, I hate to say it, but people's reactions when they first learn of this, or that kind of thing. And it can be negative in some contexts. Business is very difficult, just in general for trans people. So, if I had a normal job, it would be a major issue in most cases, even though in a lot of jobs it's protected. Luckily, I don't have a normal job, so that helps a lot. I help people with technology, and I'm their chief technologist, and in general, help people around. So that is what I do, and that has been very positive for me, even throughout this whole aspect.
yeah,
This
because one of the things I said to you at the beginning was that I think it's very courageous of you to be coming out and sharing this with people, and even on the show too. So, is there any what advice or recommendations could you give to someone, in terms of making that decision? What are some of the things that gave you the green light to that it was all, you had to go push forward with this and announce it to your business colleagues, etc.
Well, ultimately, it is going to be the person's decision on whether they feel safe on doing that or not. That's the crux of the matter. Is some instances it's safer to not do anything, even though it is not. It is mentally damaging. because the physical safety or social safety in that in some instances and such. Sometimes people half time it where they are in social situations or things outside of work. They are dressing one way and then dressing another, and for work situations. Other people completely hide it and have it in only extremely personal situations. And that is what people have to decide for themselves. To decide whether you are having gender dysphoria is something, and that's the technical term for someone who doesn't feel like they should be male or female, or they should be one or the other, that they're not normally. I would look up something called the Gender Dysphoria Bible. I'll post a link on chat for this. What that basically is a resource for what gender dysphoria is, and for anybody who needs help understanding trans people and their information behind that. So,
Yeah, and the thing we could do is we could also put it on the website, so it's available for viewers, because the chat won't be actually seen, once the show is off, right? Off
Oh,
air.
sure.
So
I'll
we
make
could,
sure that's available. It's essentially a wiki of what gender dysphoria is, how you may know someone who has it or may have it yourself in certain instances. Experiencing gender dysphoria is not that uncommon for even for normal people. It just like if you are a guy and you suddenly put on a girl hat and you feel really uncomfortable about that, that is gender dysphoria. That feeling of uncomfortableness is literally gender dysphoria right there. And so it's, in a lot of cases, it's easy to show what that feeling is, and that can engender some reactions in people, and that's why people sometimes react negatively. They feel that uncomfortableness and they don't know where it's coming from, and it's because they're reflecting someone else's gender dysphoria, or they're having some of their own, one way or another. It could be a completely normal reaction. It could be abnormal reaction. It just depends on the person.
but it could be where you could be having some feelings and not even realize it is. Is that
Yeah.
a possibility too?
Oh yeah.
So you may be acting out and you're not sure why, and it could be maybe you're not really understanding what it is you're feeling too.
Exactly. And like if you feel uncomfortable because a guy is dressed as a woman, you got to kind of examine that. Why would you feel uncomfortable about that? Is there something that is offending you or directly, or is it something that is reflecting in you that you may not recognize?
Oh,
And
so you're
that's
thinking that maybe you would wish you could be putting on that instead of that person.
unfortunately a majority of trans people are closeted and they're not public. That is due to just the social stigma for it in Western society right now.
Well, as I said, it is a scary thing, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
it's whether or not people, we're talking about judgment, whether people are gonna see it as a different thing. And you have all sorts of people out there. So it's the I guess a mission part of it is to inform, so people realize it's not something that anybody's doing to anything. It's just to show up authentically. And that's a big buzzword these days out in the business world, which is we need to show up authentically, right? And there's DK, and show up authentically and be who we are truly, and do the best we can with what we are providing. And I think for yourself, I can just because you already said that stepping out has already helped you, because you're not finding that you're going through depression
Oh yeah.
anymore. That's a huge thing, and that impacts productivity big time. It will impact sleep and energy level. It impacts creativity. I'm not putting words in your mouth, am I?
No, not at all. In fact, if anyone I'd like to talk about this, it'd be Sarah because she's seen my changes from the outside, like what it was. I was like even a couple of years ago versus a year ago versus now. Would you be able to talk on that a little, Sarah?
Well, I'd say it's basically the same as I was saying before, that you're just so much more confident and so much more positive. And yeah, it definitely affects all different aspects of a person's life. And I could definitely notice the difference in the depression specifically. Um, and obviously the depression over the years has negatively impacted Jade's business. Um, and yeah, it just feels like that has decreased so much since the transition.
Hmm. That is very, very nice to hear.
Uh, well, what's interesting is that if you do look for it, there are plenty of actual people out there who are in positions of status or positions in the public eye that are trans and have been known about that for quite a while. Here, I'll post a link for everybody, and I'll make sure this is available on the website as well. Just the top 50 trans Americans. Some of them are pretty famous, like movie actors or TV actors. Others are less well known in political situations or in different areas of government and such like that, or business. And these are all people who are well known and yet are trans in some manner, whether transfeminine or transmasculine or non-binary or however they would identify as.
That is true. There's a lot of people who, unless you know it, you wouldn't know it. True?
Oh yeah, no, it's true. You wouldn't, for a lot of people, you wouldn't realize that they've actually gone through that experience,
Mm-hmm.
and how it has changed or uh, reflected in their business and what they've done. You see some people like Elliot Page came out publicly in 2020, and he was originally pretty famous for several movies, and now is running around as their own identity in the public, and it's working a lot better for them. I mean, uh, there's a lot of other people on there. There's a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. I mean, there's a lot of people that just take a look at the list when you get a chance, and you might recognize some people that you wouldn't think of initially. So,
Yeah. What has been the biggest challenge you think on this journey for you? What would you say are the top two or three?
uh, number one is getting past the fear, that everyone's judging you. That is a huge, huge barrier to anything that you do. And I have to thank all my mentors for helping me, including you, Michelle.
Yeah.
That just realizing that, being your authentic self, as you said, is important. And when you're not being authentic, when that shows through in some manner, and people don't know how to interpret that. Sometimes they see it as something negative, or that you're just not telling the truth on something. And being more authentic to yourself, you don't lie to yourself. You don't lie to your close ones and to your business associates. You show them who you are and let them accept you or not,
Mm-hmm.
and not be afraid of that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So, if you had your business, your clients here, what would you say to them in terms of how do if they weren't aware of what it is to be transgender. They have no clue, right? What
Right.
would you say to them to say, if you know, don't worry about it, just, you know, this is what it means. This is how you can be with me. What would you say to kind of give them an idea of what the change is in terms of how they should approach you,
Um,
or you know,
First
is
thing,
there?
a lot of people kind of key into is like, what are your pronouns, kind of thing.
Mhm.
For me, that would be she, her. I am transfeminine. I prefer to identify as a female. I am going through that whole process of socializing and learning and becoming that aspect of our culture, and to let everybody know it's a process. Like, I'm not 100% there yet, and it's takes years to go through. You have to learn a whole new system of, you know, makeup, whole new hairstyles, nails, different ways of dressing, or maybe ways of dressing that were previously private are now becoming a lot more open.
It's
That kind
also
of thing.
exploring styles and
Yes.
exploring different aspects that you couldn't necessarily do
Oh, my
as a
style is
male.
quite a bit different than Sarah's, which is really funny.
Your styles?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's part of being a lady, you know. I guess even guys also have different style preferences too. Some guys like wild stuff, some people like, some like more cash, some like more dressy and
Yep.
GQ, you know, kind of that approach. And but the I guess, you know, it's for me, how I see it is you haven't changed really. I just have to remember to your Jade.
Yep. Just
It's just
trying
it's
to
really trying
remember
to wrap the
my
head around this,
the name. Yeah.
the name, right? The biggest thing is the automatic is, but I'm getting good at it. I'm getting better. So it's all about especially after I've updated the website, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Once you
So
update the website, it's permanent. So
yeah, so I've the website for the show is totally all converted, and the pictures are all good, and they're beautiful shots actually. Those portrait, those photo shoots that you did. Uh, the thing though is, from, as I said from the big get-go, what I see is I was always amazed at your patience with people. I'd go, how does she keep on answering the same question, you know, and being so patient with everyone that you're supporting in your membership program, and the way you care and you go to the nth degree when people come up with questions that aren't even on the agenda, and we will
yep.
stay on for a long time on those calls, helping people on the most bizarre things because it wasn't anywhere, you know, it's something that is unique, but you hang in there, and you go through with such care on that. And so, you know, I see you as the same person, just with a different aura, a different, you know, a more, you know, that feminine caring side, right?
A more clearer, or I would hope.
Yeah, yeah, right. So it's something that's I think I'm excited to see where you go with this, you know, how people, I'm hoping, I'm sending out all sorts of sparkle for people to support you as you go forward in your business and as you build up your new program, because I know that's what you want to do. So anybody watching this, as you get your program together to support people learning about their tech, and especially about that, the Market Cyclone platform,
Oh yeah.
you know, I know that you'll be more able to support them just because, as you said, you're more present, you're happier person. Lots of beautiful things happen when that happens.
Oh yeah. Doors open, even when you think other one's closed. So you never know what's happening out there. I got a bunch of things running. Market Cyclone is one of them. My Your Chief Technologist program, and I've been working with Ron Levinson with his UVC health solutions. So I'd love to have him back on here a few more times.
Oh yeah, that would be great because you said that my friend and customer now, she let him know that she already got healing result from using the reactor.
Oh yeah, did you get some more
You
news
told
on
me
that?
that though.
Yeah,
I haven't spoken to her since.
I saw an email on it, but that was about it.
Oh, you saw an email on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is really nice to hear. Although the special is off, I understand now. But
No, yeah, it's we had to put it back because we have to cover shipping and everything right now. So,
oh yeah.
and we're shipping from the U.S. to Canada, so it costs a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So I'm just wondering if anybody in the audience had any
See, we had
questions.
DK and Pamela here,
If they had any questions.
and there's always a Sarah if she has a question.
Yeah, if Sarah has any questions for me or for anyone else. No?
There's DK and Pam's on there. Nice to see you.
Nice to see everyone. And no real questions, but I'm also glad to see Pamela, and just great to be here and receive a little sparkle, and wonderful topic. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for being here.
I thought that was very moving, the presentation. And Sarah, when she said, I almost cried. She said, "Oh, I thought it was something bad." Yeah, I was like, "Oh wow." There's not a whole lot of married couples that could have that relationship where sit down, I want to tell you something, I'm trans. Oh, great. I thought it was bad. So for me, what to say was that moved me, that the two of you obviously have a very, very strong relationship. And you might want to think about chronologically journaling what this looks like, because there are a lot of couples who could use the power that you two have created around this relationship to have it work with your kids, with your work, with your environment and your community. You're having everything work. You're one of the lucky ones. And so, just really know that I'm inspired by you, motivated and moved. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I realize I look funky. I'm recuperating from major surgery, but I couldn't help but just say, just God bless you. And Sarah, you're a queen.
Thank
Thank you,
you very
Pam.
much, Pam. It was great to have you here.
So let's anyone up for a sparkle?
Yep, definitely. I could always use one of those.
Okay. So let's get so the sparkle segment. What I'd like you to do is put up your intentions. What is it? Do you have any special healing intentions? Could be things around your business, around your family, about yourself, someone else, and just if you would just think about what that intention is, and then we'll get started here. Sparkle, just in case for viewers who don't know what it is, I call it Sparkle Chi, and it's a quantum energy healing modality that I found out I had after I learned a whole bunch of healing modalities trying to heal my knee. And it's a gentle energy. It takes care of things at all different levels, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It helps to get rid of triggers, emotional thoughts, because of those are seated in different parts of the body. I'm figuring this out as I go with how deep this thing goes, this thing I call sparkle. And the reason it's called sparkle is because my clients, my first paying clients, could not explain what it was until I said, well, is it bubbly? Is it like sparkling champagne? And she says, that's it. Sparkly. Sparkly. I feel sparkled. You sparkled me. So that's where sparkle came to be. And actually, Jade, you had an experience the first time we met at a conference in Los Angeles. Would you care to share just briefly what that sparkle experience was?
Well, that was late night, I believe, and we had been sitting in a conference for 12 hours, I believe, something like that.
For
It
the
was
whole
all
week,
for the whole
7 days.
week. Yeah, it was one of those intense conferences that really will beat you up. and like throw all the information at you. You must do it all. And we're recovering on Saturday evening, and you started helping people out probably around midnight, 12:30.
You were
Sparkling.
heading back to Portland that night, remember?
Yep.
At midnight.
I was it at midnight or was it
Yeah,
later?
you were heading back because I finished at midnight and you had an 18-hour drive back to Portland that you were heading out for.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I needed help with my back because my back is injured slightly and it sometimes hurts. And driving for long periods of times is not necessarily safe either. So, with a little bit of sparkle, you worked on me, and my back has been excellent since then. I mean, it's been years. I rarely talk about it, and my drive back, I was energized and had no problem. I was listening to new videos, and as I go, learning along the way, keeping that movement going. So
You said you didn't even have to stop to move because your back was fine on the drive back.
yeah, it was really good.
Uh, and I think you said you had a fractured vertebrae.
Uh, yeah, I have the last vertebrae on my spine above my pelvis is broken. So
Was broken, maybe, no.
was broken. Well, I mean, it doesn't have a way to brace back in to re-heal. So it's just floating there now.
It might be fixed already. You never know. Things happen
Yeah.
on the quantum level that you're not even aware of. So, if you ever get an X-ray, you might find it's together again.
That's true.
But the bottom line is you've had no pain since, really.
Not really, no.
But anyway, let's get started. So if you'd like to connect, you can close your eyes. I tend to do that myself. And so just connect to source, allow the energy from the heavens, see this beautiful tube of light coming from the heavens. And you can see it. I usually see it as gold, sparkly, silvery, and it's coming through to the crown, top of your head. And that stream of beautiful cosmic energy goes through all over your body to all the nooks and crannies everywhere it needs to go. And this beautiful energy just brings nourishment, wisdom, healing energy. It goes in and it just soothes and caresses and brings love. It dispels everything that's not good. So as you breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, all the nourishment from the heavens. And as you breathe out everything that doesn't serve you, anything and everything. You don't even have to know what it is. Just allow it to leave through the window, through the doors, through the cord at the bottom of your feet, to your very own special crystal, healing crystal, quartz, rose quartz, amethyst. Could be carnelian, or it could be even fluorite, whatever that is, or all of them. And just allow that crystal to purify, bring Mother Earth healing energy and knowledge and wisdom into that energy, and then to bring that grounded energy into this energy that's purified now, coming back up to you through the cord at the other foot, all back to join this beautiful cosmic energy that's already circulating all through you. Just see yourself feeling good, running through the fields with a big smile on your face, totally refreshed and happy, totally invigorated, totally nourished with Mother Earth, healing energy, grounding energy from the earth. And just breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings. Allow everything that doesn't serve you to leave through the window, through the doors, through the cord at the bottom of your feet. Allow yourself the knowledge that you can control your own health. Allow yourself to know that you can feel better just by deciding you want to feel better right now as we're in this space. And just allow yourself to think about that intention you had coming into this session, and just think about what it is for that intention to have that come to fruition, whatever that intention is, whether it's to bring you new clients, business, sales, health, happiness, joy, whatever that is, love. Just allow yourself to really see yourself there. And then allow yourself to be energized right now as I send you energy to your dantian, which is right behind your navel. Just allow that energy, feel that energy, allow it in so that it can re-energize you from the core, grounded, centered. Then notice, if you will, whether or not thoughts are still whizzing around in your head. Allow yourself to release all worry, all concerns, all anger, any discomfort, any regrets, any sorrows, anything and everything that doesn't serve you, that's not of your highest good. Allow yourself to know that you are beautiful inside and out. Allow yourself to know that you are worthy and deserving of all blessings and all miracles. And allow yourself to understand that you can be all that you can be and want to be. Just you need to just choose and decide what it is you want, because you have the power within. Allow yourself to release everything and everything, anything in your mind that's keeping you stuck. Allow yourself to breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, all the nourishment, all the confidence. Allow yourself to see yourself fulfilling your fullest, most dearest dream. Allow yourself to heal your emotions, your thoughts, your body. Allow yourself to know that you have this energy within you, that you can plug into this energy that's now stored at your root chakra, your power center, that I'm sending to you right now. And allow yourself to forgive yourself and others, because carrying any kind of guilt around, or any kind of angst or feelings of judgment, etc., does not serve you in the least. So allow yourself to forgive your other people as well as to forgive yourself. And know that you're love and bring in the love. Send out the love. Feel the love. Be the love. Okay. How is that?
All better.
How are you feeling now compared to before?
Pretty good. How about you, Sarah? Any better? Sarah needs to go.
Okay. Nice that you could join us. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And
All right.
yeah, I'm really, really grateful for you both to come on to share your journey and your experience and, all the nuggets that you had to offer. And I guess we will see you again on the Sparkle Experience show on August 7th is the next one.
Yep.
Any other comments, Jade?
Nope. I think we that should be it for everything. I'll try and post these links and a couple others on the website, and we should have everything good from there.
Okay, that is awesome. So until we see you again on the show, it's Michelle saying good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right,
ya.
and we'll see you again. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Oh, there are
There's
two of
two
you
of
on the
me.
screen.
I can talk to myself again.
Yeah. All right, until we see you again. Thanks again for being here tonight too, Jade. And for
Alrighty, thank you.
all right, take care. All the best until the next time.